Hello students, welcome back to SST class for class 7. Today we are going to discuss a few questions of chapter number 13 of your geography, earth movements and changing landform. Before starting or explanation of these question answer, students please take these online classes seriously and whatever is taught and work is given, please do it on time so that during exam you don't face any problem or excuses are sent. So whatever work is given by whichever teacher, whichever subject, please do it on time and properly. Now today we are going to explain exercise 4th of lesson 13. The question is, how are old fold mountains different from new fold mountains? How are old fold mountains different from new fold mountains? Now first, old fold mountains. Number one, mountain ranges such as Appalachians, which are in USA, the Urals in Eurasia, and the Aravallis in India. These are the examples of old fold mountains. Appalachians in USA, Urals in Eurasia and Aravallis in India, which were formed millions of years ago due to the horizontal plate movement. Here we are talking about lithospheric plate or tectonic plates. As in the beginning of the chapter, I have explained you the lithospheric plate or tectonic plates. Our earth is made up of several plates and these plates are of irregular shape and size and they keep on floating in the magma due to the horizontal plate movement and are known as old fold mountains. Now second, the old fold mountains have rounded peaks. Their peaks are rounded like this. Clear? Their peaks are rounded and gradual slopes. And the slope is gradual. That is, it is not steep but it is gradual. They have rounded peaks and gradual slopes with a lower height. The height of old fold mountains in comparison to new fold mountains, or we can say young fold mountains, old fold mountains are of less height than the young fold mountains. Now next is new fold mountains. The Himalayas, Rockies, Alps and Andes on the other hand are the examples of young fold mountains. As they are still being subjected to horizontal plate movements, they are still being growing, we can say. So these are called new fold mountains. The young fold mountains are higher. They are higher than old fold mountains. They have pointed peaks. Their peaks are pointed. Peaks and deep, steep valleys. Clear? In comparison to old fold mountains, the new fold mountain peaks are pointed and the old fold mountains peaks are rounded. They have gradual slope and they have steep slope. This is the difference between old fold mountains and new fold mountains. Again, old fold mountains, examples are Appalachians, Urals, Aravallis, which have been formed millions of years ago due to the horizontal plate movement, are known as old fold mountains. They have rounded peaks and gradual slopes and are in less height in comparison to new fold mountains. New fold mountains are Himalayas, Rockies, Alps and Andes, which are still being subjected to horizontal plate movement. They are higher in height in comparison to old fold mountains. Their peaks are pointed and they are of deep and steep valleys. Next question is, describe the three courses of river and the landforms found in each course. As you all know, the river from the source till the mouth, the path which the river covers, it is divided into three: upper course, middle course and lower course. Now we are going to, or I am going to explain about it. In the course of a river, we can say in the path of a river, In upper course, gorges, waterfall and rapids are formed. In middle course, V-shaped valleys, meanders and floodplains are formed. In lower course, Oxbow Lake, distributary and delta are formed. Now explanation. In upper course, now what are these gorges? When river erodes the valley bed faster than the sides. When the river जो erode करती है river वैली के बेड को लोअर पोर्शन को ज्यादा इन कंपेरिजन टू द साइड्स देन जॉर्जेस आर फॉर्म. दीज जॉर्जेस आर डीप एंड नैरो with steep sides and hard rocks. Again, what are gorges? When river erodes the valley bed faster than the sides, then gorges are formed. These are deep and narrow. ज्यादा चौड़े नहीं होते पर गहरे होते हैं. With steep sides and hard rocks. Next is waterfall. When river falls from a great height, जब बहुत हाइट से ऊंचाई से जब पानी गिरता है, या we can say river falls from a great height over hard rocks and waterfalls are formed. An example of waterfall are Jog Falls, that is in Karnataka, are the famous waterfall. Now rapids, the river jumps over the bands of hard rocks, then rapids are formed. Example, river Nile in Egypt is where rapids can be seen. Now again in upper course, gorges are formed, waterfalls and rapids. In middle course, now one more thing, in upper course, as the river is coming from the mountains, so the main work of the river here is of erosion. But in middle course, the river, the slope we can say of the river or the area is not so steep. So in the middle course, the work of the river is not only of erosion, but it also transport and deposition work. Now V-shaped valleys are formed, meanders are formed and floodplains. Now what are V-shaped valleys? These V-shaped valleys are less steep side. As from the name from the V-shaped, the sides are not so steep. Now meanders, the water move irregularly. As the river enters the plain areas, the surface is uneven, so the water move irregularly, leading to the creation of loops, or we can say meanders. These are of the shape of a loop. Now next are floodplains. As the name itself, floodplain, these are mainly formed during the rainy season when there is heavy rains. During rainy season, the river overflows. As the water is maximum in maximum quantity, so the river overflows due to the rainy season or due to rains, and deposits sediments, and whatever the sediments the river carry with it, it started depositing beyond the banks. And these deposition of these fertile sediments, which is clay, silt, etc., on the flat land, then floodplains are formed. Again during the rainy season, when the river carries with it all the sediments, it started depositing. As the slope of the river, or we can say the area is flat, so the river start depositing all the sediments, we can say silt, clay, which it brings with it, and start depositing beyond the banks. The deposition of these fertile sediments on the flat land, we can say, or the plain area, is called floodplain, or floodplains are formed. In the lower course, the main features are formed Oxbow Lake, distributary and delta. Now what is Oxbow Lake? The circular loop. These are the circular loop left behind which cuts off from the main river. These are the circular loop which are left behind by the river when it cuts off from the main river. These Oxbow Lake are cut off from the main river. Now next is distributary. As from the name distributary, when the main rivers get distributed into different branches, we can say, before meeting the sea. Load of sediment carried by a river gets deposited. Whatever sediments the river is carrying, it started depositing it, forming a fan shape like this. Forming a fan shaped tract. Tract माने एरिया, रास्ता. Tract of land at its mouth. At its mouth, before the river falls into a sea, a triangular shaped fan is formed. And how this fan shape is formed? Due to the deposition work, whatever the river has brought with it, the sediments. And a fan shape is formed, tract of land at its mouth, and it divides into, and the river make its way to fall into the, or to meet with the sea. It make its way through these tracts or channels, and the rivers get divided into channels to reach the sea, and it is called distributary. And this, the triangular feature of deposition or distributary, is known as delta. As in your book, page number 121, it is given this picture. This is the main river. This is all the sediments which are deposited by the river. And so the river make its way to reach the sea. These are all distributary, and this is a triangular shape, and it is a delta. Now it is the explanation of the different course which a river travel to reach to the sea.